Hey, me, Dennis. Finally fixed the visual and audio thing. So, it was suggested that I do this as a way to help other people get clean and sober and help and reach out to everyone. Reading passage from the, as Bill sees it, the AA Way of Life book. I don't really know much about it, but if anyone else does know about it, then please feel free to leave a comment down below or something, I don't know, but I want to read page 35. Yeah, there. Sorry. Called Suffering Transmuted. I think I read this a while ago and it stood out to me when I was going to AA. Haven't been in a while because just being lazy and also coronavirus hit us, so that just gave me another reason not to go. Even though I have gone to a meeting almost 2 months ago, late September, early October, somewhere around there, of this year. But yeah, I'd like to read this page and just see if I can give you my opinion of it or thoughts. As you can tell, I'm a little nervous, so I do apologize. But AA is no success story in the ordinary sense of the word. It is a story of suffering transmuted under grace into spiritual progress. For Dr. Bob, the insatiable craving for alcohol was evidently a physical phenomenon in which bedeviled several of his first years in AA, a time when only days and nights of carrying the message to other alcoholics could cause him to forget about drinking. Although his craving was hard to withstand, it doubtless did account for some part of the intense and sensitive incentive that went into forming Akron's Group Number 1. Akron, Ohio, that's where AA first started back in 1936. For those of you who don't know. Bob's spiritual release did not come easily. It was to be painfully slow. It always entailed the hardest kind of work and the sharpest vigilance. That's that one. So, my thoughts on that, or opinion, I agree with the part where it says it was to be painfully slow, because it is a slow process. I mean, you're not gonna get 10 years sober overnight. You're not gonna make amends to the people you've hurt overnight. It's gonna take time. It's gonna be a slow process. So if you just take it one day at a time, that's all you got is one day. That's all you ever need is one day at a time. And Dr. Bob obviously was a doctor who ironically, was addicted to morphine. And then he met Bill Williamson, a broker in New York, who was an alcoholic. And those two people were desperate to stop using drugs and drinking. They started having meetings that eventually became known as Alcoholics Anonymous. And also, I know I'm getting away from this, but you do not need to be an alcoholic to go to an AA meeting. If you did drugs, and only drugs, never touched alcohol, you can go to an AA meeting. As long as it is an open one. If it's a closed AA meeting, then that means it's strictly for alcoholics, which I don't know why, but that is, it is what it is. But they also have closed NA meetings, Narcotics Anonymous meetings. They have closed ones for those as well, so it's not just strictly AA, it's both Narcotics Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous. But yeah, that's part where it says, although his craving was hard to withstand, it doubtless did account for some part of the intense incentive that went into forming Akron's group number 1. Not gonna pretend I know what that means because I don't, but craving was hard to withstand, which for me it was. I mean, the craving for alcohol was greater than the need or want to go to AA. And there were nights where I would go to AA, then after the meeting was over, I'd go right to the bar. I did that mostly every night. Or if I didn't have money to go to the bar, I went home and cracked open a beer that I had in the fridge. And that falls into the top part up here. Right there. For Dr. Bob, the insatiable craving for alcohol was evidently a physical phenomenon which bedeviled several of his first years in AA. As for me, I was in and out of AA for, I want to say, 2 years? Almost 2 years or over, or something like that. Something like that, but yeah. And also, I would like to read this. I just noticed this also, number 34. It says, not allied with any sect. While AA has restored thousands of poor Christians to their churches, it has made believers out of atheists and agnostics. It has also made good AAs out of those belonging to the Buddhist, Islamic, and Jewish faiths. For example, we question very much whether our Buddhist members in Japan would ever have joined this society had AA officially stamped itself a strictly Christian movement. You can easily convince yourself of this by imagining that AA started among the Buddhists and that they then told you you couldn't join them unless you became a Buddhist too. If you were a Christian alcoholic under these circumstances, you might well turn your face to the wall and die. And that's all I'm gonna read. For the most part, AA is a Christian program, but you do not need to be, you don't have to be Christian, you don't have to be Jewish, you don't have to be Buddhist, you don't have to be any other religion. You can be atheist, you can be agnostic, it don't matter. If you're an alcoholic, you can go to the meetings. Don't matter if you're Christian or atheist or anything in between, that don't matter. If you don't like the God concept, which a lot of people don't, then think of what God would mean to you. And that helps people also that don't believe in the same God I believe in. Because I am Christian. I have a cross on my arm that says Psalm 23. And that it's my favorite Bible verse. And it reflects on how I lived my life back then. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. And that's all I can remember. I can never remember the whole Bible verse. But yeah, that's all I wanted to read for tonight. And also one more thing. Anyone's interested, I don't know where. I'm sure if you ask around at meetings, you could find a joke book about AA or something called My Mind is Out to Get Me, Humor and Wisdom in Recovery, 500 Sayings and Slogans, and got a few funny things in here and some sayings, like number 62 here. Why drink today when you could put it off until tomorrow? Meaning if you have the ability to drink tomorrow, then why don't you drink tomorrow and not drink today? And that falls back to that one day at a time thing I talked about earlier. You have, number 63 here, you have to be willing to participate in your own recovery, meaning obviously you put in the effort to stay clean and sober. No one's gonna do it for you. And this one is true for me, and I'm sure everyone else also. God bless if this has never happened to you, God bless. But number 64, a lot of people have died wanting to get sober. I've known people who've died because of drugs. Just recently, he was like a brother to me. Couldn't get the needle out of his arm. I miss him every day. And a couple friends who have passed away from alcohol. Strictly alcohol. Drank too much, liver couldn't handle it, and that was it. And I miss them every day too. I think about them quite often. And just a couple more things here. If 86 here, if learning to be sober doesn't feel awkward, you're not making progress, which I've always said this, and I've always known it to be true for me, that if you want to be comfortable doing something, then you first need to be uncomfortable doing it. To be comfortable doing something, you must first be uncomfortable doing it. So, meaning, if you don't feel comfortable doing it, keep doing it until you do become comfortable doing it. 83 here. Carry your strength, hope, and experience to those people you find attractive, and especially to those you don't. Meaning, help the next person in any way you can get clean and sober. Offer to take them to AA, offer to bring them to rehab, but don't force them, because you're just gonna push them away. And I'm learning that the hard way, because I have a friend. I wanna help my friend get sober, but he's not ready, so I gotta back off on that. But yeah, and one more, why not? 84. When I think I'm in control, I'm most out of control. So, don't really know what that means, but yeah. That's all I wanted to say, and hopefully the audio and this video is better than it has been. And I'll see you in the next video. God bless. Have a good night, day, wherever you are in the world. God bless you. I love you. God loves you. God bless.